Okay, welcome everybody. We appreciate you joining us here today for this very exciting announcement. This is really one of those moments when we blend the fine old art of reading with all of our new technology. So this is kind of an exciting moment for us here at the Public Library. I'm Jackie Needis, the CEO of the Public Library, and we have with us today our good friends in Cologne. Can we get them up here? I think we've got them Skyping in. Oh, there they are. Hi, everybody. Judith and Cordula, thank you so much for being with us. The mayor's office is there. Thank you all very much. This is great. We're very excited about our program, One Book, Two Cities. Some of you may remember years ago that the library did One Book, One City. And it was The Friendly Persuasion. This is quite a long time ago, a Jessamine West book about a sweet little Quaker Hoosier family. And I have to tell you, it was a wonderful read, and I think everyone in town who read it together did develop kind of a shared experience. The book we're going to learn about today that the mayor is going to announce is a whole different world. It's a story about a family, but I'll tell you, their life is far more interesting and far crazier than anything that Jessamine West ever thought of. So I can't wait for you to learn some more about today's book. We are doing this program as part of our effort to recognize and to help Indianapolis citizens recognize that we live in a global community. Whatever we may do locally, the fact of the matter is we are players on a much larger stage. And when we can have a shared experience with our sister city, Cologne, Germany, and their citizens, that's an example of building those bonds, building one more common thing that we have experienced and that we can build on in the future. It's very exciting to have our friends from Cologne with us. Hi again. The Skyping thing's kind of cool. I've never Skyped on a screen this big. This is kind of amazing. I do want to mention a couple of important aspects of all of our international work. Our sister city efforts are very much something that we're excited to cooperate with the city on. The Sister City of Cologne Committee is represented here today. I'd also like to give some very special thanks to the folks who are making all of this possible. We could not do these exciting things, these wonderful enrichment activities, if it were not for our wonderful friends at the Indianapolis Library Foundation. They're here today. Danny Dean, thank you for all your work, and Roberta and others on your staff. We're also blessed to have support from the Library Fund at the Indianapolis Foundation, the CICF Indianapolis Foundation. They have continued to support all of our efforts, whether it be an international shared book like this or international travel and development for our staff. We're especially grateful for the support from BMO Harris Bank, and we'll hear in just a few moments from Andy Cardamon, their managing director. The folks at BMO understand what we're trying to do here, and we appreciate their support as well. At this point in the game, I would really like to say hello one more time to you guys. We don't want you falling asleep on the other side of the ocean there. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Mayor Greg Ballard. Mayor Ballard's been a wonderful supporter of the library. In fact, this is his second time in this room in less than 7 days. I think he was here last week for the robotics tournament finals, up on stage awarding great prizes. And today he is back with us with another great announcement. Mayor Ballard?
Well, thank you everybody for being here this morning, and welcome to our folks from Cologne. As you may know, we had 95 members of the Indianapolis community over in Cologne just a few weeks ago for the leadership exchange through the chamber. The first time that the leadership exchange ever went overseas, and they picked Cologne for obvious reasons, I would think. I would think that would be obvious reasons, because it's such a great sister city of ours, and they've been a part of our city for well over 30 years now. It's a tremendous relationship. I really am happy that we have so many community partners here in this room and throughout the city of Indianapolis that does enhance our global connections. I think that's important. As Jackie said, we do live in a global community. Those of us who fail to realize that, it will be at their peril. And for cities, it will be at their peril also. You can either thrive in it or you can die by it. Take your pick, as far as I'm concerned. And you know which ones I have chosen. But we have a great relationship on so many levels with Cologne and with some of our other sister cities. But this takes it to a different place, really. This would come not just with committee relationships and library relationships and firefighter relationships and other relationships, but now this can be one-on-one type of relationships. It can be relationship building either at the local level or across the pond level, which I think is tremendous. It's just so fun to see this and to have the technology and have the relationship combined that allows us to do this sort of thing. The book that we will be sharing with Cologne is called Vienna. It was written by Eva Menasse, who is an author from Berlin, Germany, and she was recently recognized with the Heinrich Böll Award, which is Cologne's highest literary honor. The subject matter of the book is it's set in Germany during World War II, and which you can imagine will be a very interesting family dynamic, as you know. And it will create enlightening discussions, I think, with both cities. Very happy that we have chosen a book like this, that really we can have lively discussions. I think that's tremendous. Like Jackie said, I want to thank all the supporters, BMO and the Library Foundation. Danny, thank you so much. Indianapolis Foundation has done such good work. And so many people kind of come together to make all of this happen. None of this ever happens in a vacuum. We must not forget that. It takes great partners, not only in the city of Indianapolis, but in this case, in 2 cities across the globe. And I think that's very important to remember all of that. So I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I'm hoping that everybody in here gets a copy of the book, Vienna, reads the book, and engages in the appropriate discussions, because I think that's tremendous. Reading is, some people think it's a lost art. I don't. I read all the time still. And I've taken books out of this library quite a few years ago, pretty routinely, and I think that's important that we continue to we expand our mind all the time. But now we have the opportunity to do something really, really special, to engage 2 cities in a very special relationship and deepen those ties even further. So I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I want to thank all the folks in Cologne for joining us today, because we know that takes time out of their schedule also. But I want you to know this is very important to us. I want to thank you for what you're doing also. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, you've heard the book title. You can get ready for some snuggly winter evenings of reading, because it's a pretty interesting book. I had a chance to read it. I was introduced to it when I was in Cologne, thanks to the good folks at the Cologne Public Library. And if we got a word from you guys here?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Look at this. Dear Mayor Ballard, dear colleagues in Indianapolis, let me introduce you to the participants of this meeting. Uwe Becker, our Library Deputy Director, Gordula Nötzelmann, our Chief Librarian of the Branch Libraries, and Lydia Klitsch from the Office for International Affairs. She is responsible for the twinning Indianapolis-Cologne, and Babette Hartmann, our block administrator. Thank you so much.
Now it's my turn, I think.
Okay.
First of all, good morning to Indianapolis. Dear Mayor Ballard, dear colleague Jackie Needis, our warmest greetings across the Atlantic Ocean, to our sister city, and let me say, to our sister library. Greetings also from Hanne Vogt, director of our library, which is in France today, therefore she cannot participate in this event. She regrets it very much. Now, some words about our exciting theme. Events such as a book for a city are well known in Germany. Many towns here organize something like that. But doing this in the context of twinning of our cities over a distance of 6,887 kilometers, that's 4,279 miles, is something new. In any case, I can say for Cologne and our public library here, never before we launched a project like this.
One book, two cities.
Well, now it's Gordlet's turn.
Thank you. You know, this project feels like an extension of my wonderful staff exchange stay in Indy earlier this year. We had already talked about first ideas concerning a sister city reading event then. And look at this, today we can proudly present this joint venture, one book,
two cities.
Eva Menasse, the author of Vienna, has been to Cologne this month. She met our readers and she left some warm words for you, which you are going to hear today as well, later. Cologne's reading clubs found Eva Menasse a very, I quote, fascinating woman and personality, and I think this is mirrored in her work as well. Our readers have already started their literary journey, but also a literal one. Some reading club members traveled to the real city of Vienna already to see the original sites and places of the book. We are quite confident that their experience and impressions about the books and their journey will be of high interest for our international reading exchange. You can find and comment on everything on the One Book, Two City weblog, which will be filled more and more with discussions about Vienna till next spring. And I think Lydia is going to say a few words as well.
Yes, hello from Cologne, dear Mayor Ballard, dear Jackie, hi Martin, hi Jane. It's nice to see you on this way. It's my first Skyping, so I'm very excited. First of all, please let me convey my warmest greetings from Mayor Jürgen Rothers and also from Angela Spitzig, which with her I phoned today. So greetings from the both and also from the citizens of Cologne. A fantastic partnership between our libraries has developed, which brings together a lot of people to strengthen our sister city relationship. We wish success and all the best for the future, and thanking you all for the great cooperation, especially this year. So hello to all of you and have a good time. Bye-bye.
Wow, thank you all so much. It's so good to hear your voices and to see your faces again. I felt in my brief visit to the Cologne Library that this was a wonderful group of people who really enjoyed their work. And I think that we can testify to that. Nicole James is here in the audience. You guys, Nicole is here watching. And Nicole had the wonderful experience of working with this team of people for 3 weeks. So I think that helps to solidify our good relationship. Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to lots of blogging in the months ahead. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. We're going to take a moment to see a video, as was mentioned, a message from the author, and they were all present when it was filmed and are familiar with it, so they're going to all get back to work. But let's take a look at our message from Eva.
Hello to the citizens of Indianapolis, hello to the Sister City Library and to Mayor Ballard. This is Eva Menasse speaking. I'm very happy and pleased that you are reading my novel Vienna. Over there, I very much appreciate this idea of two cities linked via a novel, Cologne and Indianapolis. I'm in Cologne right now. And I hope very much that you are enjoying reading the novel, and many greetings from me. Have a good time. Bye.
You know, she seems way too young to have written this book, I tell you. one thing that I want to mention, Mayor Ballard mentioned that Eva had received the Heinrich Boll Award, and there's an interesting Indianapolis connection to that as well. Heinrich Boll was very close friends and a great admirer of our own Kurt Vonnegut. And the two of them exchanged many communications. I think they shared a set of values and frustrations, perhaps, with the modern world. And it's just kind of interesting to realize all these parallels that keep coming up about Cologne over and over again. Well, as I said, we could not do this wonderful, wonderful activity without the help of our friends and our sponsors. And at this time, I'd like to welcome Andy Cardamon to the stage to share a few comments with us. And you do get a book.
Thank you. Well, good morning. I'm Andy Cardamon. I lead the commercial bank for BMO Harris Bank in Indiana, and very excited to be here. On behalf of my BMO Harris colleagues, again, we're incredibly proud to be here to support the One Book, Two Cities reading campaign. This campaign is really a perfect fit for BMO Harris. We feel very strongly about promoting educational empowerment, and we know that these types of events and this type of empowerment happens every day at the Indianapolis Public Library. I am quite convinced that this book, Vienna, will create many more of these learning moments for many of us in Indianapolis, myself included. I actually ordered the book last week and was expecting it by now, so I'm anxious to get started reading it. If I get to take a free one today, I'll start tonight, I promise. I know that many of my colleagues as well are looking forward to participating in the events and the programs surrounding this particular read, so very exciting from our standpoint. Again, thank you for the opportunity to participate in such a unique community event. We're honored to be a part of the One Book, Two Cities campaign. Thank you.
You know, I have to compliment Andy and all of you at the bank. You have been in this community fewer years than some, but your institution has absolutely stepped up on so many levels, and we really appreciate that. You have truly become a part of our community and clearly are bringing to our community the kind of values that we know will help us grow, and that's an important thing. Andy mentioned that there would be some programs coming forward as we move on with the book and some activities that stem from the storylines and some of the threads that go through this book. And at this time, I'd like to ask Chris Cairo, the director of our program and project development area, the person who has single-handedly made sure that we had copies of this printed in English, which was a tough thing to find. But Chris has done that and a whole bunch of other things, and she's going to outline the activities for the next few months. Chris?
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you so much, Mayor Ballard, for being here today. We're most appreciative. It makes it a much more festive occasion and exciting for all of us. I should mention that, yes, this is a premiere printing of this book in the United States. It was available in Canada. It was available in England. It was published in England, and we actually made the long-distance phone call to the Orient Press in London, and they very graciously, thanks to Peter Pauli there to help make that happen. You can't make international phone calls through the regular library phone lines. It's blocked. You can try it when you get back to your office, but it's blocked. And so we were able to order 1,500 copies and make them available to the public, which is really a wonderful, and we have to again thank BMO Bank and thank the Library Foundation for making that happen. So the premise here is, what if two international cities read and talked about the same book? What would happen? And that's the adventure that we're launching today, to see what is going to happen when we have two reading cities get together and share the same book. We're excited about this year's selection, Vienna. I should say a little bit about it. It has been critically acclaimed as a landmark European novel of impressive reach and power. The story kind of loops forward and backwards, so don't give up on it when you get started. It's so that it's sort of over a course of a century. So the characters kind of loop back and forth. They're all related to each other, which you'll figure out it's worth getting to the end. And you sort of follow a part Jewish family who's been separated by the Nazi invasion and by World War II, which was obviously very common. The exchange of stories, legends, anecdotes across the generations is kind of part of the principal means for the family members to connect with each other, which is the same way in all of our families. It's through our stories sitting around the kitchen table that we share our links and common threads together as a family. So we invite you to read the book over the holidays and then join the library book discussion programs and activities. There have over 100 of them in the months of January and February 2014 around the themes of family history, identity, and tracing your heritage, as well as talking about the book. To make reading this book easy and convenient, as we said a moment ago, that the Indianapolis Foundation Library Fund has generously provided 1,500 copies, let me not knock this over, 1,500 copies of the book, complimentary books to individuals. We also have 250 of them available, thanks to Deb Lambert, if she's here, and her staff over at CMSA. There she is. Thank you so much, Deb. Making these available so that you can check out, place holds on, and read. So as long as they are available, come over to any of our library branches and receive your free copy. And then we encourage you to take part in our book clubs and our groups, and that will provide an opportunity for discussion between your coworkers, your friends, your family, your neighbors. Read the book together. Read the book through our book discussion groups that we're hosting at all of our branch libraries. And then, for the first time, be able to blog and share your thoughts from those discussions with our friends over in Cologne, Germany. And they are a little ahead of us, so they're reading the book right now. And as Cordula was telling you, they are so excited about it that they've actually taken field trips to Vienna and visited the locations that are taking place in the book. Isn't that nice? I mean, that is really one of the great benefits of living in Europe, that you can quickly jump over to another country and have that experience. So that is the basics, and if there are any questions or comments, that this would be the time to share those. Okay, thank you.
Stay up there, Chris. All right, in case there are some other questions. I think one of the programs that's going to come from this is something that's another interesting tie from the past to the future, in that we're going to be holding some sessions where you can bring your family history photos, and we will digitize them and help you share them then with further family members. I don't know about you, but I think many of us have had that instance where you're looking at that photo trying to figure out who in God's name is that woman. I have no idea, and the name's not written on the back, and the only person who knows is Aunt Lucy, and she lives in Philadelphia. And while it would be great to go out and see her, the fact of the matter is that's a tough thing to do. But if you digitize that photo and you email it to her, she can look at it and she can tell you who that lady is. And it's a wonderful tie-in to the book, because the amount of genealogy that you're going to get as you read through this book is kind of fascinating. But it's a reminder to us that family histories and the crazy stories that tie us together are enriched when we can capture the photographs or any of the other documents of our family's history. And so at some of the branch libraries over the course of the next couple of months, there will be sessions where you can in fact digitize your family documents and photographs. And this is really a lead-in to some activity the library will be more and more involved in the future, where we are trying to capture and digitize for posterity more of the historic documents of our community. So that's going to be kind of fun. There is a blog, so we can get on it. Put your comments on. I think our
website and their website.
Right. So if you go to the library's website, you'll find the reference to the blog. You can get on there, put your comments on. They'll be putting their comments on, so it'll be a two-way. Okay.
I should just also add that every book on the inside has a little letter, and the letter welcomes everybody and encourages them to read the book, and also has the blog address right on the paper. So, and a
QR code. So, okay, you don't have to go to our website, although I wish you would, but you can do all those other ways too. See, I don't want to tell them I want them at the website. No, it's good. We're making it easy for wherever you are. So tell your friends. Okay, well, thank you all for being here. And if you think of any other questions, I'm sure that Chris and other members of her staff, Jessica, thank you so much for all the work on this. Yeah. And this has really been one where it's been a great opportunity for us to have people in our technology area join with people in program development, and we even have to thank the folks at Marquis who are helping us learn more about what kinds of technology it takes to really act globally. And those are great lessons for us to learn. So thanks for being here today.
So we're super excited about this project between the City of Indianapolis and Cologne, our sister city in Germany. And we're so excited, in fact, we're going to offer this opportunity to all the employees of the city-county building. So we're going to be sending out an announcement that anyone, any of our employees can join in and be part of the book reading and the book club.
We just celebrated our 25th anniversary with the sister city relationship between Cologne and Indianapolis. And when you go back, why sister cities were founded is to have a better understanding of the different cultures and to learn from each other. So you see this on the cultural perspective of exchanges, people to people, but then also in the professional. And I think the symbiosis we see here between the two libraries show them both, understanding of the culture, but then also share best practices on how to run libraries and to do a better service for the people in the community.